Greetings, loved ones. So in today's video, we will be talking about none other than the Adidas and Pharrell Williams Human Race NMDs. Now, there will be 3 colorways releasing, and we're going to be talking about all 3 of them, don't worry. However, I did also want to mention briefly that there are some Stan Smiths dropping in this collection, as well as some tennis Human Races dropping in this collection as well, and I kind of wanted to briefly mention them at the end of the video. More importantly though, in today's video, we will be talking about some release info for the shoes. We will be talking about how to cop them, basically just like some tips, tricks, everything that you can do in your power to get these shoes without a bot efficiently. Of course, I also want to talk about resale predictions. These are going to be a personal cop for me, but I understand some of you guys just want to make a quick buck. More importantly though, if you guys stick around to the end of the video, I also did want to talk about the significance of this shoe and why I actually kind of find it so interesting and why I actually like these shoes so much. Also, guys, I will make an updated video, and this updated video will essentially encompass all the raffles, the consortium stores getting them. So essentially, these shoes are releasing on March 16th, and the time that they're releasing it's a little weird. The reason I think the times are like this, I think it's a possibility that the full moon is the brightest at this time. I don't know, it's just a possibility. For those of you who know more about the culture than I do, please guys comment down below, because it's something that I am interested in learning about. But they will be releasing at 2 a.m. Eastern time, or what the Adidas site has them listed as, it is 3 a.m. Atlantic time. And of course guys, times can actually change. We've seen it with the Bape Dame 4s, we've seen it with the previous blank canvas Human Races, how the times were delayed by an hour and a half, by 2 hours, and you just have to be aware of this, but don't worry, I'll keep you guys updated throughout the entire process. Additionally, the retail price for these shoes will be $250 on all the NMDs. Furthermore, like I said, I did want to briefly mention the tennis Human Race and the Stan Smith. Those both will be releasing for only $130, which isn't a bad price at all. Of course, I know a lot of you guys are also asking, hey, is it going to be a first come, first serve? Or is it going to be a splash page or a waiting room, which is more commonly known? Well, as I checked out the view page source and I typed in waiting room, it did appear that it said false, which basically means that it's going to be a first come, first serve. However, all the shoes recently have been saying this on Adidas.com a couple days out from the release. So what I have noticed is around 30 to 40 minutes before the release, they do change it to true if it is actually going to happen. So I'm almost 99% sure that this is going to be a waiting room, although it does say that it's going to be a first come, first serve now. I'm very confident that they are going to be changing it. However, we have to prepare for both sides of the spectrum. Just in case, I want you guys to be as prepared as possible because it doesn't hurt. Of course, I will be providing you with the info last minute on my Twitter. My Twitter is KeithAdam10. The info essentially is going to be if it's going to be a first come, first serve or a waiting room, because 10 minutes or 20 minutes out from the release, I'll release a screenshot that essentially says true if it's a waiting room, or if it still says false, then we know it's going to be a first come, first serve. So speaking hypothetically, let's get into some tips and tricks on what you can do if this so happens to be a first come, first serve release, because it's definitely a possibility. We know with the blank canvas Human Races, there was only 1. Now in this case, there's 3 pairs of NMD Human Races releasing, so it's just a possibility to consider, guys. So if it does happen to be a first come, first serve, here are essentially just some tips and tricks you can use to cop manually. First of all, a lot of people, when they refresh right as the time ticker goes down, they move their mouse all the way to the top left and they click the little refresh button. No, guys, that's for amateurs. We don't have to do that. What we can actually do, we can move our mouse to right under where the timer is. The reason we do this is because the sizes will pop up there. And then you hit Command R, it is on Mac, and then for Windows, I believe it is F5, correct me if I'm wrong. Therefore, it will automatically refresh it for you, but you won't have to drag your mouse all the way down to the sizes. And if it is a first come, first serve release, those 2 seconds might just be the difference between copying and not copying. Furthermore, this is an easy one. Make sure you have Autofill set up, and I got some questions on how to set up Autofill. It's super easy. Make sure you're on Google Chrome. Go to the top right corner of your screen. You should see a 3 dots or 3 lines. Click on that, click settings, scroll down to advanced settings, and after you hit that, you should see an option that says autofill. Click on that, fill in your info, and all you have to do when you check out next time, simply type in the first letter of your name, and it automatically fills out all that good stuff for you. Some of you guys also might be wondering, why in the world do we need autofill? Well, here's the reason. This is why you need autofill. Although you have 10 minutes to check out on Adidas, there's such thing as carjacking if you haven't realized. So although it says you're safe, like you got 10 minutes, no, you're actually not. Someone could easily carjack you, and it's the most unfortunate experience because you've gotten that far only to realize you've taken an L. Also, and this is only for first come first serve releases, because I'm sure not all of you want to make like 50 Gmail accounts or whatever if you're going to do the multiple people jig, which we'll talk about later. But if it does happen to be a first come first serve and you only have one browser open, simply sign into your Google account. Therefore, 90% of the time, not always, but frankly for me, I've never gotten a CAPTCHA when I was signed into a Google account. And you're still going to get that add to cart loop. However, the only difference is every time you try to add to cart, you won't have to go through that entire CAPTCHA thing. All you're going to have to do is simply refresh and try to add to cart again. Meanwhile, if you weren't signed into a Google account, you would have to do that entire CAPTCHA thing again, and it is the most painful experience. Last tip I wanted to mention for first come first serve releases is the payment loop. This is super frustrating because you've gotten all the way to the end and you realize you can't process your payment. It just keeps going in a circle. So what you can do here, and it might not work considering time is going to be running out. People are going to be carjacking like crazy. But if you can't process your payment, this is your last hope. Essentially, you want to sign into an Adidas account. After you're signed into your Adidas account, switch browsers. On that other browser, sign in. It should be in your cart. Try to check out on that browser. You could even try doing this on another device if you still can't check out. Also, another thing I'd like to add, I know some of you guys might use your wife's credit card. Some of you guys might use your mother or father's credit card. Make sure the name on the card isn't your name, because I know you have that set up for autofill. Make sure it's actually their name for the card. Now, like I said, it could very well be a first come first serve considering there's 3 pairs releasing. However, in my opinion, just my opinion, guys, as of now, I think that it's 99% gonna be a splash page. I'm pretty confident it'll be a splash page. So if it will be a splash page, here's all you have to do to get in, because I understand some of you guys have trouble getting into the splash page. And really, anyone who's new to the channel, first of all, subscribe to the community. This is an awesome, helpful community. More importantly, though, you might not know the multiple people jig. Essentially, the multiple people jig is a way where we could get multiple entries into the waiting room, so we have a higher chance of actually getting in and copying our shoe. First off, you have to make sure you're on Google Chrome. When you're on Google Chrome, simply go to the top right corner of your screen. You should see either your name or perhaps a little person. You click on that, go to manage people, then you add a person, you give them whatever name you want, click save, and then you copy and paste the URLs for all 3 of the Adidas NMD Human races, all 3 of the different colorways that is. You don't want to have duplicates of the same shoe. They have to be different ones, otherwise you can get banned on that Chrome user. But I got another tip for you guys. Those of you who follow my Twitter, you guys actually know this. Those of you who were in the live stream, you actually saw this as well. But here's a new tip that you can try, because if you haven't noticed, when you have 30 Chrome users opened up or even 10 Chrome users opened up, it gets really messy. So all you have to do on Mac, you have to click the F3 button, or you could actually grab one of your Chrome users and slide them up to the top of your screen, and you will get a full view of every single one in the waiting room. You'll be able to see. Now, obviously, you should every once in a while switch to tabs, because you're going to have 3 tabs open, 1 for each shoe, just to make sure one didn't get in and you didn't notice. So basically, when you press F3 on Mac, you'll see that you can see all of them. On Windows, I believe it is tab, and while you press tab, you also have to press the Windows button, and it should work for you. Don't be surprised if you get in like 20 times, but you just can't add to cart. So the problem with this is there is no solution to this. I know you guys are asking, Keith, is there any way to get through this loop? And unfortunately, absolutely not. The reason for this is simply Adidas lets in way too many people, considering there's only like 1,700 or 1,800 pairs of each one. Just be prepared to not be able to add to cart. There's no way around it, so you just have to pray that you get in early enough where you are able to add to cart. And if you don't cop the shoe, please guys don't get discouraged. Finally, I also wanted to mention some resale predictions, because I know a lot of you guys care about that. I think I'm going to have to hold my initial resale prediction for what I mentioned in the March shoes to resell video. If any of this changes, Feel free to follow my Twitter, that is KeithAdam10. I will make all updates on there based off of leaked stock numbers and stuff like that. But I think it's going to be around $400 to $450 per pair. I think all of them will be very similar in price. So this basically means you could profit after seller fees and perhaps shipping. You could make around $100 to like $130 in the most common sizes. Now in the rare sizes, you could definitely make much more. To me, this is a personal cop. I love what these shoes stand for. And this is going to transition me into the end of the video because I really wanted to talk about the significance of this shoe. I think it's really cool what Pharrell Williams has been doing with all the human races. So I kind of just want to give you guys a little background of the Holi Festival. And of course, if you guys know any more than I'm mentioning, feel free to mention it in the comments. Again, I'm really interested in learning about this. So basically, at the start of spring every year, loads and loads of people come out to spread, you know, good vibes and positivity, love, forgiveness. But most importantly, you might be wondering, what does the dye have to do with this? What does that powder have to do with anything? Most importantly, though, you might be wondering, what does all that color have to do with anything? What does all that powder have to do with anything? So essentially, the powder is called gulal. I might be pronouncing that wrong. And also, super loud music and good music is played, and basically what's supposed to happen is that it's supposed to intoxicate people into forgetting about their social classes, forgetting about discrimination, and all just joining together as one, as if they were all equal, just having a good time, preaching forgiveness, preaching love, positive vibes, like I said. And you know, I just find this extremely cool how they're basically implementing this idea into a shoe, and I'm really trying to get my hands on a pair, and if I do happen to take an L, I might just have to pay resale if I could afford it. Most importantly though, like I said at the beginning of the video, I did want to mention the tennis HUs and the Stan Smith HUs. I think that there is a possibility that these shoes might also resell. Most importantly, the tennis HUs, I think that those might have a pretty decent chance of reselling. Don't expect a lot, like please guys, don't expect a lot, but I think I'll go for these shoes if I take an L. Hopefully they're not too hard to cop. And with that, I'm out of here, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making this video. It was fun for me to talk about this. So feel free to subscribe to join this awesome community. We're always helping each other out, giving each other tips and tricks on how to cop, trying to learn new things here and there, how to get better at copying manually and fight the bots. With that, though, I'm out of here. Good luck copying this shoe. I will be making an updated video hopefully soon. And I'll see you later. Have a great day.